Mr. Mike Barrett, we at the OSR Academy are thrilled to have you as our first guest expert. Our goal here in this teaser is to learn more a little bit about you, your background, and just really, I think, the opportunity that our students will have to meet with you live, to learn from you. So thanks for making time. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, I always enjoy coming on and talking to you, Brad.
So let's give a quick little background. Second generation builder. How would you describe your father's construction career?
Well, I would say he kind of made something from nothing. He came over from Australia. Actually, he's from Ireland, but then he came over here from Australia after spending a lot of years there operating heavy machinery. Just started a home building business, not really knowing anything about it. The Irish here in Chicago have a long history of building homes in Chicago, though, so he was able to find a network of people that would help him out. And he just built the business for about 30 years and then passed a lot of knowledge over to my brother and I. And that's how we get started.
What are your earliest memories? How early in your life do you remember being on a job site, driving around a Bobcat like at 5 years old? Tell me about what that was like of kind of growing up in the business.
I have vivid memories of sitting behind my dad on the Bobcat there's a little shelf behind there. Don't think that's something they recommend, but I was on job sites as early as 3 or 4 years old. I remember we'd be out there cleaning units and, making airplanes out of 2x4s as young kids. And then every summer thereafter.
Yeah. So you grew up in the business. Our paths intersected at Pulte Homes. You were the superstar intern because you had back-to-back summers, right, with us?
I did. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, where word got around, and then I think you came out with us a little bit, but word got around this kid's an intern. He goes to Purdue, but he's better than 70% of the other construction managers that we have. And then when I got banished to the far, far north where no one else wanted to go, I said, I will go there on one condition. I get the first draft pick, anyone I want who lives in Chicago. And they're like, fine, who is it? And that's when I drafted you, probably against your willingness and your better judgment. But that's where our paths cross. So you go to Pulte. I want to kind of fast forward here a little bit. Great Recession hits. You go back and get your MBA. And then your career starts, and I know you wouldn't say this, but this little empire that you've been building for the past, whatever, I'm there. How many years is it, Mike?
We are going on 17 years.
You're going 17 years.
Yeah.
So you launched kind of right in the Great Recession there. So maybe just give our audience just a little context as the developing, the building, and then owning. Maybe just kind of talk just a little bit about kind of the product you build, where you build, and kind of maybe a little bit about your customer base.
Sure. We build on the north side of Chicago in a number of neighborhoods. We started in 2006 with one home. That was obviously heading into some pretty rough times. So the business grew slowly but steadily there for the first 3 or 4 years. Nowadays we're probably working on 8 to 10 projects at a time. We do high-end single-family homes. We do high-end condos. We also have a portfolio of rental buildings that we build and keep. That has happened in the last probably 5 years more so that we've started building that up. The price points of our units range from, say, $700,000, and we've gone all the way up to about $6 million would be our most expensive home that we've done.
Got it. So why we're excited to have you on is that, number one, you've built obviously a lot of different product. I think in kind of throughout your career, you have been in a stage much like many of the customers of our OSR Academy students, either who they are serving now or who they will serve in the future. Guy maybe just starting out with a couple units, and then someone who's growing, and then someone who's, quite frankly, really successful and got a lot of different irons in the fire. And fair to say, Mike, on a daily basis, there are different salespeople who are trying to interrupt you from your doing to hopefully deliver value and say, hey, with all the work you've got going on, I can help you with brick or insulation or whatever. You're your entire house of beadboard back there, like whatever, right? You've got salespeople that are trying to kind of connect with you all the time, right?
I do, and in a number of, frankly, clumsy ways that I don't take a lot of, I don't pay a lot of attention to most of them, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Yeah. And we're not going to go into this now. I know you're busy and I appreciate you making time, but that's exactly what we're going to get into. And I think the opportunity here for you students is you're going to get a unique opportunity, is to talk to someone who has been at different stages of home building career, whether it's just kind of a couple units and then a lot of different units. And you'll be able to ask him very candid questions about anything that you want to know. And because none of you are currently in the Chicago market, I'm probably not going to try to sell to him. He's going to be super candid in his response. And we're going to talk about kind of what to do, what not to do, and bring some of the principles that we're talking about in the OSR Academy and see what it looks like when you are talking to a business owner, a decision maker. So, Mike, what's the name of your website?
You got Barrett Homes. We transitioned it recently to BarrettHomesChicago.com.
I was not aware of this. All right. Barrett Homes.
It's kind of like your rebranding of sorts.
Yes. Always doing something there. Barrett Homes Chicago. Okay. Now I will tell folks, I would encourage you to go check out his LinkedIn as well. Don't just firebomb him right now with all these connections. Don't do that. But our expectation is for you students to show up. We're going to be able to just kind of do a question and answer. Want us getting those questions in ahead of time. Mike is very generous with his time. He's going to look at those questions and he will be prepared to answer them. So really want to make this an interactive dialogue between a successful builder and you guys, where you can just literally fire any question and he'll answer them. So that's a plan. Any parting thoughts, Mike? Anything that you would ask kind of the audience prior to us getting together here shortly?
I don't know if I have a question. What I would say is I think the nice thing about the field that you're in is that there is a ton of opportunity to stand out and to do this better than it's traditionally been done. And I think being in this program and taking these opportunities will differentiate you from the vast majority of your competitors, especially here in my market. There is a ton of room for people to come and shine here.
That's well said. All right. I think it's a great place to end. Mr. Mike Barrett, thank you for your time. We'll see you next week.
All right. Thanks, Brad.